Avenge me, my brothers.
We detected the sin of damnation near our home planet. Low-frequency scans of the Space Hulk reveal the presence of gene stealers.
Brothers, vengeance shall be ours. Squad to Red Zone, ready for deployment.
Credible Hulk here, and we are playing Space Hulk today. Space Hulk is a computer version of a game based off of Warhammer 40k, which is a tabletop strategy game where you build your armies based on point systems, and it uses d6 to fight, and it uses line of sight and terrain and range. And well, anyway, there's a tabletop version of this game where instead of building massive armies and fighting each other, there's just a map, a strategic map where one player plays a squad as the other player throws either certain amounts of enemies at him or an onslaught of infinite enemies while the other guy has to complete an objective. But this game encompasses that, and it follows it really closely, and I really enjoy it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just play the first couple of introductory missions and show you the game. There's different difficulties to pick from. There's easy, hard, and normal. With easy, your bolters don't jam, and close combat's easier on you. Medium, you're gonna get normal jams, everything acts normal, and then hard, everything's harder, and you only get 4
torpedoes
command
have
points.
breached the sin of damnation, and the sound of our bolters rings true through its corridors. It is imperative that we secure the beachhead before the gene stealers can mount a coordinated counterattack. All flanks must be secured to give us time to reinforce our position. Sergeant of the squad, accept your orders. 1 squad will be sufficient. You will deploy your Terminators here. We have predicted the enemy routes of attack. Defend the breach.
Okay,
until a
so we
beachhead
have this
has
area,
been
and
established.
we're going to start where those little guys are. And normally you'd think that you would secure that middle hallway as the enemies pour in. However, if you do that, you only have 1 point of defense here and 1 point of defense on the bottom. Whereas if we move our troops over there, we're going to have, yes, one person's going to have to cover 3 advances, but you'll have more spaces to be able to have a bigger chance to defend yourself with. So the strategy I'm going to employ is I'm going to go into that hall and I'm going to defend myself in that way. What I was saying was you get command points and action points. You'll see action points later when we get this. First, we're going to deploy. We get to pick where our guys are going to start off at, and in the beginning one, it doesn't matter because it's the same clone troop in the area, so it doesn't really matter. But as you can see down on the bottom where it says AP, there's 4 boxes because you get 4 action points. You have an ammo or your weapon munition type and your ammunition count. The heavy bolters have infinite ammo for the standard Space Marine. So we're just going to move him to the first corridor like we had talked about earlier. And he's going to light up that gene stealer. He's facing the direction we want him to go into, and that's cool. And as you can see on the left, there's command points, like I am highlighting here. You have action points and command points. Every single spot you can use to move. Each character gets 4 action points, and then you get a random command points between 1 and 6.
Holding position.
And you can spend those on any character that you want as if it was their action points. But you also want to save them, that way you can use them to
Securing
unjam
position.
weapons during your off turn. Because right now we're taking our turn, moving our characters into position, and then we're putting them in Overwatch. What Overwatch does is if there's an enemy that comes within our field of view, we can
Weapon
open
at the
fire
ready.
instead of waiting for them to attack. We're going to end our turn. Gene Stealers are going to do their turn, but they're not really going to do anything because there's none on screen yet. We're going to secure this corridor some more to give us more opportunity to defend ourselves.
Watching for enemy contact.
Because once they come into view, we get to shoot them, and every single
Holding
square
position.
that they move in front of our field of view, we get to shoot them again if we don't kill them the first time. We want to give ourselves the more opportunities to shoot them as
Going
we
into
can.
Overwatch.
And I guess I figured that this was
The
the best
enemy
place
will
to go ahead and
fall
just
before
bunker
me.
down. So we're just going to keep on cycling our turn. There we go. Now we got some Gene Stealers coming in as our bleeps. And you can see that our objectives are in the upper left. It tells us that we have to kill 7. There's only 6 remaining, and at least 1 Terminator must survive. And what sucks is that we only have 1 command point, and command points are what we use to unjam our weapons. Because
Flying
it's, like I
secure.
said, a random number between 1 and 6. You'll be able
My
to see
aim is true.
see in a little bit, because I believe my gun starts to jam a couple of times. See, he stepped into our field of
My
view,
bolter
and we
has
opened
failed me.
fire and nailed him. And you can see right there, it said gun jammed. And these little command points and different things and tutorials keep popping up. And I'm clicking through most of them. Some of them I'm highlighting. This one's telling you an explanation of what command points can be used for, like unjamming weapons and carrying action points over to other characters. But I'm skipping through them because I'm sitting here to play the game and show you the game
Securing position.
rather than teaching you the game. I mean, I'm teaching you a little bit about it and showing you the strategies I
Affirmative.
use, but I love this game. So we're going to end our turn, let the Gene Stealers go again. There we go, defending ourselves from that
weapons failed
approach.
me. Obstruction.
And there's another jam that we got our action point to do, and there's
My
another
bolter has
one.
failed. Weapon bolted.
And this is what we're going to do. We're just going to sit here and let the enemies come to us.
My bolter has jammed.
Now here's a hard jam
Order
where
confirmed.
our bolter jammed after we ran out of command points.
Clear
We
to
just
fire.
spent 1 action point to unjam the weapon.
Affirmative.
We throw them back into Overwatch,
sighted.
and we end our turn.
My bolter has jammed.
And so falls our last
The beachhead
opponent,
is
and
secure.
we
You
have
have
ended
done
this
your
first
duty
one,
to
and
the
we're going to
Imperium.
go directly into the second one.
Hulk's structure is treacherous. A collapse has left Brother Terminator Zale stranded. With his teleport Homer inactive, he must be retrieved by more direct means. Sergeant of the squad, accept your orders. Your troops are scattered. Terminators enter here. Multiple Gene Stealer satrages detected in these areas. Only one brother is close enough to render assistance in time. You must reach Brother Zale before he is overrun by the enemy.
Okay, in this one, we have 2 different guys in 2 different areas of the map. One's cut off by a door that's jammed, and we have to try to get the one guy to come up and hand him a transporter so that they can teleport out of there and survive. This guy right here, he is a I like to call them
With origin
Firebirds,
haste.
fire starters. I don't know. He's a flamer. He's got a blowtorch. So we're gonna lay down some suppressive fire, literally, and that fire is gonna stay there during the Gene Stealer's turn, so that when they spawn, if they run in it, it'll hurt them and it'll kill them. So if they despawn, they'll stop outside of the fire and not come in. So it's kind of like blocking off that part of the map. So he's gonna continuously come back and lay down that suppressive fire. This guy's got to try to blow out that door like we just did before he can move forward. The thing that sucks about the firebug is that he can't provide
Order
overwatch.
confirmed.
He
Holding.
can't sit there and if an enemy comes within range, open fire. He can't do that. It won't let him because his is an area of effect rather than just having a heavy bolter. So he can't do that. The other guy can. And as the fire guy backs up, you notice that his back's going to be exposed. So we have to try to hurry up and get our lower guy
Affirmative.
out of that hallway before any enemies come to flank our Firebird. So we got to hurry up and rush him forward a little bit while still being able to provide Overwatch. And this is me looking at the. You can see where it says how many command points and
With
action
all due
points it takes
haste.
to move a certain range. And we decided to move him there. I think I undid it though, because I was like, well, I just spent all of my command points. No, never mind. I went there and put Overwatch on.
Scanning for enemy movement.
He's providing Overwatch to protect that guy's flank. So now all we gotta do is just back everything up. And it's a tedious process because it costs 2 action points to back up 1 square. So we're gonna continuously lay down the suppressive fire and back up. And the other guy, we're gonna back up to a
Objective
square
locked.
and then Overwatch. Back up a square and Overwatch. We want to continue to keep as many command points available as possible because
Moving
the
ahead.
bolter might jam, and we don't want that guy to have a jam bolter if an enemy shows up and starts shoving it in his face, because that sucks. And we're getting a little bit close, so maybe no, we'll do Overwatch. Because if we back up and we do Overwatch, it only leaves us 1 on jam. You need to click Overwatch.
Going into Overwatch.
Okay, now go ahead and back him up. Jeez, I didn't know I ran out that much. You can see the bullets are approaching. Here we go. Open up fire.
Unjamming bolter.
And there's 1 jam. And there's a 2nd jam. So jams are no joke. What it is whenever you fire your weapon, you roll a d6. And if you roll a 1, your gun jams. So every 1 that the game calculates, hey, you rolled a 1, it jams. So then you have to spend your points to unjam it. It might be a 1 or a 2. I know that everything kills on a 4+, so you roll a d6, and if it's 4 or higher, it kills. So you have a 50-50 chance of killing. I think it's supposed to be a 1 in 6 chance of jamming. I'm not sure about the mechanics itself.
Unjamming weapon.
Any of the other Warhammer 40 guys that
My bolter has
tell me
failed
how
me.
wrong I am or how right I am. I don't know.
Clear to fire.
Excellent. So as you can see, here I am, just keeping this hallway clear and preventing these guys from flanking us. So anyway, I'm gonna let you guys just watch this while we do the slow approach and finally get to it. And we start to turn around. We hand him the transporter, and mission's done.
Our brother is returned to us. The enemy has been denied a victory. Squad Lorenzo is under attack. With the return of Brother Zale, your brethren were tasked with locating an aging control room just beyond our perimeter. However, fighting around the beachhead has drawn more gene stealers than expected out of hiding. Our forces must break through before they are cut off. Sergeant of the squad, accept your orders. 1 squad is available for your command. Terminators enter here. The enemy approaches from these points. Get the squad safely to the exit zone. Reaching the objective in time is vital to the battle plan. Protect your flanks, and do not underestimate the gene stealers.
Okay, this mission's actually one that you have to be careful about where you do your starting positions for your characters. You actually have a full squad, you have 2 command spots, and 3 heavy bolters. So you want to make sure that you have your you spawn them in the correct order because your commanders, one of them's focus. I mean, one of them focuses mostly on hand-to-hand combat. So he's not very. He does have a heavy bolter, but you want to have your disposable guys being your meat shields. Really, you want to keep your command points or your commanders for when you need the heavy hitters. So we went ahead and we put 2 heavy bolters in the lead. That way we can use them to cover our flanks, like you see here, covering down the corridors.
Ready.
And then we're gonna keep on plugging down the way with the little train.
Yes, brother. Moving.
And it's very. I like the squad element of it, because now we have to focus on how we move. Because once we get the commander up there, now we don't have anybody else to fill the role of guarding the flank, so we have to kind of peel. I don't know if you know anything about SWAT tactics and peeling people. Like one person will cover a hallway, another person will come in and take over covering the hallway while that person advances on. But that's not the case of what we're doing. Oh yeah, it is. So we're gonna peel this guy. We're gonna move him forward since we now have the one heavy bolter in the rear, because that heavy bolter in the rear is gonna take over for what that guy's job was. So we're gonna move the commanders forward, and then we're gonna move the next heavy bolter to cover that hallway as we advance into the main objective area. Because all we got to do is move our squad from the beginning spot into the end zone up ahead. What I failed to do was see that I only had 1 command point, because when you have commanders, you get to re-roll your command points, because it's, like I said, it's a random number between 1 and 6. Well, if you randomize 1, you re-roll, you're either going to get stuck with what you started with, or you're going to get better. So you might as well re-roll if you get 1. If you get 2, it's better chances of you to get better than 2, but you might screw yourself at the same time. If you get 3, I generally don't re-roll 3s because you can get 1, 2, or 3 as well. So 3, 4, or 5 I usually 3, 4, 5, or 6 I usually keep. But I forgot to re-roll.
My weapon has failed me.
And we're just gonna be covering our areas and moving down the hallway very slowly. See, we just re-rolled that 1 and got 3, so we got 2 more than we started with, which is good. But we need to make sure that we only move ahead so far, since we only have 4 action points and we now only have 3 command points to be able to unjam weapons, and we actually have a hard jam down below. So we want to only move up a couple, and then maybe use a command point or 2 to go into Overwatch. Because it costs 2 action points to go into Overwatch, remember? So move him forward, use 2 command points, leaves us only with 1, so we can only unjam 1. So hopefully we won't need it, but we should be able to peel one of those guys back. That's going to cost 3, we only have 1, so that's not going to work. How about him? Move him there. Okay, we should be able to move that guy up. No. No, we should probably just leave it the way it is. End our turn. Because we're not going to have enough points between the both of them to cover both hallways, or to cover the one, cover the rear.
With all due haste.
Alright.
Watching for enemy contact.
Move him back 1, and then put him in Overwatch. Now we don't have anything to unjam with, so hopefully we won't get screwed over by aliens.
Scanning for enemy movement.
Okay, we're gonna end our turn. Oh look, we have bad guys. Please don't jam.
My bolter is jammed.
That would suck. Okay, and we have aliens touching us. That sucks. His weapon must have jammed. Which is why I said we gotta be careful and try to keep as many command points as we can, because now we're in a pickle here. But it's okay because we only need 3 members of our squad to survive, one of which need to be the commander. So I hate to sacrifice him, but let's try to smack this guy out of our face. And we got killed. That's cool. All right, so we're gonna run now, and hopefully everything will be okay. I mean, we've got 5 command points, so 4 plus 2, that wouldn't leave us. Yeah, let's just move that way. Yeah, we're gonna move, and then we're gonna go into Overwatch. Cover our flanks from these guys. We don't want to move our other guys too far ahead. So we want to try to finish all together. Oh, I can't believe I lost that guy. I don't like losing people.
Overwatch.
But in this style of game, it's just bound to happen. I mean, it's really hard to keep your entire squad alive the whole time. But at least it was just one of the meat shields and not a commander. There is a mission later that absolutely sucks because you only start with 2 guys, one of which is like a cleric, so he can only move around and do a couple of things, and you got to walk around and wake up the rest of your squad. But that's to come later. So we're just gonna meander into this area
Clear a path.
because we don't want to leave our guy behind. So
My bolter is jammed. Unjamming weapon.
okay, our turn now, and our gun jammed, and we have people on our faces, and I've got a little surprise for them. I am now not lined up to do it, so I've got to move these guys around so that I can get this guy to lay down the fire and cook them roasty toasty. But we got to get this guy out of the way too, so let's move him out of the way. And I forgot to re-roll my command point again. And I just moved my command to the end zone, so now I'm not going to be able to frickin' re-roll. Cool, no more re-rolls for me, not this guy. And I need to move that guy. Why won't it? I want it to fire down that hallway, but it's only wanting me to it'll only let me do it if I hit that center. So move that guy back, and then now we should be able to toast him. There we go. Burn, baby, burn. Let's go and burn now. Burn, baby, burn. This guy. Oh, he's only got 1 command point. That's right. So I need to go into Overwatch.
They will fall. Holding position.
And don't you do it. Maybe go forward 1, but nope. Just stop. And that guy fries. And this guy gets good. Woo! It's close. You see, he walked into the field of view, he got shot. He turned in the field of view and got shot. He walked in the field of view, got shot. Turned in the field of view, got shot. Every single movement within the field of view provokes an attack of opportunity. Okay. We gotta move this guy back. Ooh, we might have enough. I don't know. Let's check.
Weapon at the ready.
Maybe next turn. Next turn should be it. Four plus 1 plus 2. No, next turn.
Move.
Definitely next turn. Because we just got to get to the end zone now. Might be down a
Moving to
man.
target coordinates.
Just got to get to the end zone.
Stay alert.
And if you want to move back multiple spaces like that, you have to click one at a time. If you just click 4 spaces back, it's going to turn your guy around, march him 4 spaces, and he's going to be facing the wrong direction. So you have to click 1 space at a time to back him up. You should be ready after this turn. Light up those gene stealers. And here we go. We should. Oh, cool. We get 6 again. Been getting 6 a lot ever since our commander died. And that's it. We all went to the end zone. That's it, baby. All right. This is Space Hulk. Awesome game. This is Credible Hulk Gaming. I hope you enjoyed it. And like and subscribe.